Hi friends. As you know, VBS is looking very different this year. Each day we are going to read you a story from the Bible and a story from a book. So this part will be on video, but the rest of your activities you will find in your VBS kit bag with all the instructions. This week for VBS we are talking about the parables. Parables are stories that Jesus told to teach us a lesson. And hopefully we all learn from them and might think differently about stuff. The first parable is about the sower, and it comes from Luke 8, verses 4 through 15. And I'm going to read you the story of the sower and then ask you a couple questions to think about. Here we go. Have you ever planted seeds in a garden? Did you notice that some seeds grow well and others struggle? Jesus told a story about that. Let's see what he had to say. A farmer went out to sow some seeds. He walked in his field and scattered seeds everywhere. Then he went home and waited for them to grow. Some of the seeds fell on the paths. They didn't have a chance. The birds came and ate them up. Some of the seeds fell on rocky ground and started to grow. The sun came out and the plants dried up and died. They had not put down deep roots. Some seeds fell among the weeds and started to grow, but the weeds grew faster and crowded out the farmer's seeds. Some seeds fell in good soil. These seeds put down deep roots. They began to grow tall above the ground. Soon they were strong plants. They grew and grew until they produced lots of grain. The disciples were puzzled. "What does this story mean?" they asked Jesus. "The seed is the message of God's love," Jesus explained. God joyfully plants the seeds of love everywhere. You are like the soil. Sometimes you are like the hard ground. You are not ready to hear about God's love. Don't worry. God still loves you and keeps on planting. Other times you are like the rocky soil. God's messages of love starts growing in you, but life gets hard. And God's love seems far away. Don't worry, God still loves you and God keeps on planting. Other times you are like the rocky soil. God's message of love starts growing in you, but life gets hard and love seems far away. Don't worry. God still loves you and keeps on planting. Sometimes you are like the seeds among the weeds. God's message of love starts growing in you, but worries come along and crowd out God's love. God's love seems to disappear. Don't worry. God still loves you, and God keeps on planting. But sometimes you are ready to hear about God's love. The message of love grows deep down inside you. It grows and grows. Other people see God's love in you too. When that happens, God rejoices and keeps on planting. Why do you think Jesus told this story? Why don't you, if you are inside, look out a window or take a walk outdoors? What plants do you see? How are they growing? How is God's message of love in you? What do you need to keep growing? Why don't you talk about these things with someone you know, maybe an adult or an older brother or sister, and see what you can come up with. God loves you, and God's love will continue to grow in you.